Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? Happy birthday, happy Christmas, happy New Year, happy Friday. I have so many things. Listen, I just grabbed this hoodie on my way out because I was like, I think it's kind of getting cold. I think I need a hoodie. I just made my first, I told you I was not retiring the Christmas cup, even though Christmas was over. I love a good tartan plaid. I thought my underwear was coming in the mail today. I ordered this. Well, I think I ordered a pair of the red, it looks just like this, red tartan plaid, like brief trunks. And then I got green plaid ones too. I thought it was my underwear that came in the mail today, but it wasn't. It was the sweater that I got from Amazon. It was like $30. I'm going to show it tomorrow. I'm going to do this haul tomorrow of the Amazon stuff that I got. But anyway, so this is my first cup of coffee for the day. This is the Kauai coffee, and this is the light roast. So, with one Splendid. It is boiling hot because I just made it. And then I also already have out here my Still Hot and Still Sober candle that Tanya Jean got me. We're going to light that in just a second. I've got so many things in my pockets. I've got my phone. Should we do a time and temperature check before I do the rest of my show and tell? I love a good show and tell. I was just talking about my childhood show and tell. It's currently 5:39. I wanted to start vlogging today at like 4 o'clock and be done with everything by like 5:15. That's not the story of my life. The story of my life. You guys remember that song? I have all these. So last night I watched that K-pop Demon Hunters movie. So I have all those songs stuck in my head. That Soda Pop song. And then that, I downloaded them actually. Do you guys want to see? I told Alex today. I said I watched that K-pop Demon Hunters movie last night. He goes, I saw that on your Instagram because I posted it on my TV Instagram. Did I post it on my TV Instagram or maybe my regular? I think on my regular Instagram that I was watching it. He said, I saw that you posted that on there. He goes, what'd you think? And I said, why don't you watch my review? I did a movie. He goes, just tell me what you thought of it. I said, well, I downloaded some of the music. He goes, did you really? And I go, yeah, I downloaded 2 of the songs. He's like you paid for them? He knows I pay for all my music. I don't understand Spotify. I don't shame me for it. I don't understand Spotify. He laughs at me. He loves Spotify and Apple Music. I have Apple Music. I feel very proud of myself. I'm just starting to understand it. Like sometimes when I go in, I don't understand how just to download a song off of Apple Music. And if he's not here to explain it to me, I just buy it. Because I'm like, it's 99 cents. Okay. So anyway, but here it is. The proof is in the pudding of the K-pop Demon Hunters soundtrack. Soda Pop and Golden. I like that Golden song. But anyway, he's like, did you really? Oh, I was doing my time and temperature check. He's like, did you really download those songs? I was like, yes. Honey, the Land. I've been listening to them all day long. I can't, now they're not in my head. They'll come back to my head in a second. Well, if I shut my mouth for 2 seconds, there wouldn't be a video. If I just sat here in silence. Some of you would watch it. If I literally just sat out here like any regular day of my life and I just kind of sat here and watched things going on in the neighborhood, would you guys watch me? And I just commented on it. We're so hard trying to find out about our new neighbors. They started like, well, I'll tell you that in a second, our new neighbors. But anyway, they look very nice. I've only seen them like inside the door. I was going to go over there today and introduce myself and stuff, but I kind of want to get like a basket together of like stuff to take them and whatever. You know, like, I've shared this before, but like when I moved into my apartment with my ex, when he and I moved into our apartment together, my really good friend, the one that I've been friends with forever, that he lives in Florida now, but we like went on one date and we decided we'd be friends. He and his boyfriend at the time brought us like this basket from Trader Joe's. Well, the basket wasn't from Trader Joe's, but they bought like a basket and they like gave us tea and cookies and coffee. It was such a nice like housewarming gift and had a little plant in there and stuff like that. So I thought like I would do that, but they're not in the house yet. But they're there all day long. They're like working on it. They've been having like people go in and do stuff. So I don't really know what they're doing, but anyway, but I didn't want to interrupt them like working today. And then my neighbor across the street, she was like, have you talked to them yet? Like I was out here today with the dogs and she like beelined it over to me. She was like, have you talked to them yet? I was like, no, I was going to go over and say hi to them and introduce myself. But I kind of like wanted to have a basket together and stuff first. And I was telling her about it. She's like, yeah, I was thinking about like making some bread or some cookies and stuff. And she was like, to So she's like, you haven't met them yet? Do you know their names? I was like, no. She's like, well, I kind of want to know their names so I could put it on a card. And everybody's like wanting to welcome them and stuff in the neighborhood. So anyway, but they're not like moved in. They're like doing stuff to the condo before they move in. Anyway, the temperature, it's colder today. It was nice all day long. I mean, it wasn't nice. It was like cloudy and stuff, but it wasn't cold. It's currently 45 degrees. I think it's supposed to get much colder tomorrow. Where are my reading glasses? You guys have, oh my Lord, it's an ad on the Weather Channel. You have no idea the stuff that I have in my pockets. I'm about to show you my show and tell of the world. I'm so excited. Okay. This vlog is kind of getting off to a weird start, isn't it? It's kind of all over the place. I know you guys are like, Peter, that's how it always starts. Yeah, tomorrow it's going to be 43 and showers early becoming, so it's going to rain all day tomorrow. So Alex had a party. So his friend that we went to New Year's at her and her husband's house, she was hosting tonight a birthday party for his other friend. That was the first wedding that we went to this year. But then that party got canceled last night, well, yesterday afternoon, because the girl that was hosting the party, her and her three sisters decided that they were going to drive to Atlanta. They got tickets to the Peach Bowl. So they decided they were going to drive to Atlanta and go to the Peach Bowl. The Peach Bowl's in Atlanta, right? I think it is. Anyway, because IU's playing. Everybody is talking about the Peach Bowl. So they're going to the Peach Bowl. Okay. So then that party got canceled. But then it got moved over to the girl whose birthday it is. Okay? To her house. But they're going to watch the game. Is the game on tonight? The game must be on tonight. Is Peach Bowl on tonight? Let's look it up. I feel like I should know that. Is this like, it's like a big deal if IU wins, right? Go! IU! Go, go, go! IU! I should, like, it's a big deal if IU wins though, right? Like, do they just play one game? Is it like the finals? Or is it like best 2 out of 3? Like, I don't know any of this stuff. Okay, so it's the Peach Bowl. Does the Peach Bowl go all weekend, or is it tonight, or is it Sunday? You would think that they would play like a game like that on Sunday, so you could party all weekend and go to the game on Sunday. Like, that would make sense, right? Okay, it's Indiana and Oregon. I didn't really know that Oregon was like a good football state. They must be. Okay. Oh, they play tonight at 7:30. When and where is the Peach Bowl? Okay. To make it first appearance in the college football playoff national title game. So is it all over tonight? Who is favored to win the Peach Bowl? IU, of course. Listen to me talking about football like I know. My mom would be so humiliated right now. My dad has never cared that I didn't know anything about sports. My dad watches all the sports, but my mom, like, she'd be like, oh my God, Peter. My mom loved, and like both of them went to IU, but my mom was like huge IU fan. The fact that I don't know anything about, and I don't follow college basketball, my mom, oh my God. My mom was a bigger college basketball fan than she was a college football fan. But I can't believe Susie didn't call me today. This is like a big deal for Susie. I wonder if Susie's at the Peach Bowl. She went to, what was the other one that was in Los Angeles? The Rose Bowl? She went to that. With Indiana favored by 3.5 points and the money line odds, the Hoosiers are the betting favorites to secure another victory. Did they win another year? Where is the Peach Bowl being held? The Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Atlanta, Georgia. It says date, January 1st. Well, who bet $2 million on the Super Bowl? Who did that? Mattress Mac? I don't know who that person is. The Peach Bowl, okay, wait. So is it just done tonight? I guess it's all done tonight. Let me act like I know anything about football past watching Rudy and The Blind Side. Okay, so Tanya, what do I'm like, what do I smell that's banana? I keep on smelling banana. Why am I smelling bananas? I'll tell you here in a second. It's a secret, okay? Well, hi, Walter. He's walked over here. Alex is watching that Spartacus show, which looks so stupid. I said, what are you going to watch tonight? He goes, I guess I'll finish that Spartacus show. We're going to probably watch a movie or something tonight. Anyway, so I got to go back in time. So that party, the original party, got canceled because she and her sisters drove down to the Peach Bowl. Okay, so then the other party was going to happen at his other friend's house, whose birthday it actually is, tomorrow. But anyway, they're going to have the birthday party tonight, I guess. But they're going to be watching the Peach Bowl, which is Indiana versus Oregon. Indiana's slated to win. Why is this so funny to me? So anyway, last night he said, okay, well now they've moved the party, whatever. And I said, are you going to go? Because I think it started at 7:30. Oh, that makes sense, because that's when the game starts. And he said, I said, are you going to go? And he goes, well, they're going to be watching the game, so probably not. And I said, are you really not going to go to her birthday party? He goes, well, it's like 5 people. And he goes, and a couple of the girls aren't going because they can't stand football. So then today he went and he got an IV infusion thing with his mom, and then they went and had lunch afterwards. He had tomato soup and French fries, and she had grilled cheese and tomato soup. They went to that HC Tavern in the Fishers District. He loves that restaurant. It's okay. I think it's cute in there and stuff like that. It reminds me of this restaurant bar my dad used to love to go to in Chicago. We'd always go there like at night when we would leave Chicago when I was a kid. But anyway, so he's not real hungry. I am. I'm really hungry. I still want to take my walk. But then, so he texted me and he goes, now she canceled the birthday party. And I said, what? And he goes, but with no reason. I guess it's because nobody was coming to the birthday party. But then I said to him, I go, so the birthday, he goes, it wasn't a birthday party. I go, well, you kept on referring it to the birthday party. He goes, well, it wasn't really a birthday party. And he goes, and none of the girls wanted to come. He goes, just the husbands wanted to come because they're going to watch the football game. So there was no party. So I don't know. And tomorrow he said he has no plans, and Sunday he has no plans. My plan is probably to film this weekend. I'm going to try to, well, he's gone the next 2 weekends. So it's, well, it used to be PP and Peter's Bachelor Weekend. If you haven't watched me, like if you just found me because I'm so fantastic, if you just found me in the last year or two or a couple of years, so we used to have a Chihuahua. And his name was PP. Well, his birth name was Duncan, okay? But his given name was PP. One of Alex's friends, I think it was Sarah, named him PP. And so that's what we called him. It was because his PP always was sticking out. Anyway, his lipstick is what they would call it. So that's why we called him PP. There's like this rumor that I changed his name because Alex's ex-boyfriend gave him PP, which is so ridiculous. It's just such, this is where I'm like, where do people come up with these rumors? Like, first of all, nobody would know that PP was a gift from his ex if I hadn't mentioned it into a video. If I was that bitter about it, why would I, like, that is such a ridiculous rumor. Anyway, no. PP had his name long before I ever met PP, and it was from I think it was Sarah, Alex's, like, his really good friend Sarah. So, and Sarah also taught PP how to speak. Because we would go, PP, speak, PP. And he'd go, arr, arr, arr. I said that to Alex the other night. He goes, no, PP really spoke. And I go, what do you mean? He like growled. He goes, no, he like spoke. Like he could say words. I go, Alex, no, honey, he didn't. He just started laughing. He goes, he could speak. Because you go, PP, speak. And you hold up like a treat. And he go, arr, arr. Well, PP was in a lot of my videos at first. Tucker and Boo Radley, not so much. Tucker would be. What was really weird is, if you remember, I used to do my Peterisms videos. Well, I used to do all my videos in the chair in the living room. We need to get a new chair. I saw this chair at Costco. It was huge. And I was like, it wouldn't be a great filming. I still think, like, I need a filming chair. But I've not filmed in that chair in, like, years. But it was, like, one of those chairs that's, like, huge. You know? And I thought, oh, this would be such a great chair for our living room. And it was, like, $600. I was like, this is pretty... I mean, I know that's expensive, but for, like, a huge chair like that, it's, like, pretty good price for a chair. Chairs go up to thousands. You know what I'm saying? Linda. The land, Linda. Honey, the land. Anyway... And Alex would have liked this chair too. So I was like, but how am I going to get it home in Caroline's trunk? So anyway, that's beside the point. I didn't buy the chair. But so when I would do, it might have been after PP passed away. So PP passed away the week of Christmas 2019. So he had like heart disease and then he had kidney failure and stuff like that. Anyway, he was on all kinds of medicines. So sad. But he actually lived a lot longer than the vet thought he was going to. So, and I learned so much from that about just being present and being in the moment and stuff. But I miss PP so much. I miss PP, Boo, and Tucker so much. I'm like, if we had 5 dogs. I forgot to show you guys. Okay, somebody sent me this picture of this rescue. This dog is 1.5 years. They cannot place this dog. Okay? Hold on, let me find out. I screenshot it when this person sent it to me. First of all, can we just show you what Walter does now? He puts his little, can you see it? He puts his little head in between the ottoman and the chair. Okay. Somebody sent me this picture. A friend of mine sent me this picture and was like, this dog looks like Walter and you need to get him. I know you can't really see it because it's not dark, but can you see it? I was like, I need to kind of turn it down. Hold on a second. The display brightness. How do I do all this so you guys can see it? I mean, you have to really see, like, this dog really looks a lot like Walter. I was like, do they need a brother? but they don't need a brother. Hold on a second. Okay, so here's what Walter does. Can you see that now? He puts his little head in between there. It's so cute. Okay, this is how they sleep next to each other by the door. That's them sleeping by the door while I'm watching TV. Okay, look at this dog and tell me this dog does not look like Walter. Wiggle toes. He's a year and a half. So anyway, but no, we're not getting any other dogs right now. Alex said, get as many dogs as you want. I have all these videos on here that I upload on my phone and then I forget to delete them. These are all the videos from like 2 days ago. Alex, he's like, get as many dogs as you want. I'm like, no, we just need 2 right now. That's as good as we need to go for right now. So anyway, what was I saying? So Pee-Pee we had, but then when Pee-Pee passed away, well, I filmed a lot with all of them. I used to do the bark box, which I got the bark box again for Walter and Otis, and I'm really enjoying it. But I used to film my Peterisms videos in that chair. Boo Radley, until the very, like, he didn't really love to sit in, like, videos. He would do it, but he didn't love it. Like, if Tucker was up there, Boo would like to do it. And then, like, the last 2 years, like, Boo just, like, slept a lot and stuff like that. Like, on the stairs and on the bed while I was filming and whatever. But anyway, so Tucker would sit next to me while I was filming my Peterisms videos. And at the very end, when I would say, okay, you guys, I'll see you later, bye, he'd always bark at the very end. It was like, he would bark, and then it was like right at the very end of the video. He would always do this, like, little bark. It was so weird because when I would film those videos after that, after, like, Tucker, hey, how are you? Good. When I would film those videos after Tucker had passed away, as soon as I would say that, Boo Radley would come running around the corner because he would be like expecting, like, Tucker to be there. It was the weirdest thing. I talked about that back in the day when it happened. But that was like that summer after I came back. Like, it was almost like he knew. Like, when I said that Tucker would always bark. Anyway, it's so sweet having litter mates. The things I noticed about Boo and Tucker, like, Boo and Tucker always slept together. Like, you know, they never spent a night apart. Walter and Otis, for looking so different, are almost more attached than Boo and Tucker ever were. Like, Walter is super, super, super protective of Otis, which is weird because Otis is kind of like more of like the alpha dog. But I noticed so many similarities. I don't know if it's just because they're litter mates or not. I noticed so many similarities between Boo and Tucker and how Walter and Otis are. Like, they sleep on top. Like, last night, Walter was sleeping next to me. Otis literally, like, just, like, laid on top of Walter. And Walter does not mind. Like, he just lets him do it. The one thing I don't really understand, I talked about this yesterday, is that Otis has been going down to his house a lot. Like, he likes to go down there and just sleep. Like, today I went down there, I was like, where's Otis? Like, I got done filming a video and I went down there and he was just in his little bed. I have 2 little beds in their house. And I went down, he was just sleeping there all night. He was like, he looked up and then he, like, followed me upstairs. He came back upstairs. I mean, he was fine, you know, but I was like, I think he just likes sleeping down there or something. I don't know. But anyway, Walter's my little shadow. He follows me all over the place. Then when Alex gets home, then Otis follows Alex all over the place. So anyway, we don't really have any big plans this weekend. I can kind of figure out, like, which movies are, like, going to be Oscar contenders right now. You know what's interesting is that all of these, like, movies are getting nominated. Like, they're, like, Begonia. I did not like that movie. I like that, what's her name? Emma Stone. I like Emma Stone a lot. She was good in it, I guess. I just felt like she played Emma Stone. Like, I don't know. That movie, for some reason, those weirdo kind of movies, like, I like them sometimes and sometimes I don't. It didn't work for me. Like, I felt like it was trying really, really hard. I don't know. I know people love that movie. I just didn't love it. So I need to watch Hamnet. Alex and I are going to watch the Leonardo DiCaprio one. We might watch that tonight or tomorrow. We finished Loot last night. It's the night before we finished Loot. No, last night we watched Salt Lake City the night before. Oh, he was like, do we have a Beverly Hills? Beverly Hills wasn't on yet. Traitors had, oh, that's what we're going to watch tonight. It's the 3 episodes of Traitors that's out. So he was like, do you want to watch Beverly Hills? This was after I got back from my walk and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, is it on yet? He looked and it wasn't on. So, like, he was heating up his food and stuff like that, and I was sitting down eating, and he said, what do you want to watch? Well, he had turned on Angie Castanetti's from Salt Lake City on Watch What Happens Live. I don't watch What Happens Live as much as I used to. He watches it a lot. I mean, I would. I don't have anything against it. He watches them before I can get to them, so I just don't watch them. I've got so many things to watch, that's, like, the last thing. But I like them, you know, the Andy Cohen interviews. So, we watched that. And then when we were done, he's like, well, what do you want to watch now? I said, can we please start Palm Royale? I love that show with Kristen Wiig and Carol Burnett. Oh my God, it's so good. So we had to watch last season. Honestly, when Alex is like, we're going to have to watch like the preview of what happened last season. He's like, because it's Ricky Martin's in it. He was like, I don't remember a ton of it. I thought I did until I watched the preview, and there was so much that had happened that I had forgotten. But we watched the first episode of Palm Royale last night. The season looks like it's going to be good. Allison Janney, I absolutely love her. She's like one of my favorite actresses of life. So anyway, we watched that last night. And then, let me actually, here I've got my lighter. I gotta light my candles. So you wanna know what smells like bananas? This candle that I got from Shy Wolf that's called Banana Palm. I mean, it is like dead up on, like this smells like, this smells like banana, like Laffy Taffy. I'm kind of excited to light it, but I don't know that I want it, like this is not a scent. I mean, maybe I'll end up liking it so much, I'll be like, yeah, I want the house to smell like it, but I doubt it. Okay, so I'm gonna have that one lit, and then we're gonna light the still hot and still hot and still sober candle. I didn't trim this one, the other one I trimmed the wood before I came out here. So we were laying there, well the night before, when we had watched, and then I also brought this scarf out here, trying different little scarves that are up in our, no, it's not Burberry. I wish it was. I don't know what it is. It's not. I'll tell you the brand. It's very soft though. Cashmere Feel. Italy design. I don't know, it says dry clean only. That's kind of cute though, don't you think? You don't really do that with these though, do you? It's kind of choking my neck a little bit. I don't need to be choked like that. Do we like it? I bought this sweater. I'm kind of like, I think this summer I want to do like some preppiness. I used to wear Sperry topsiders like every day. Like literally every day. For years. Like probably, that was when Alex and I were going out a lot. I would wear like button downs and jeans and Sperry topsiders. That was what I always wore. Well, that was like in between my westerns. That's kind of cute, don't you think? A little bit there. Hide the turkey neck up there. Hide that turkey neck out and get that hidden. Okay, so look at that little scarf. Let's do a little thumbnail, shall we? I'll never remember where that thumbnail was. What time was that at? 22 something? Anyway, so we're laying there. Okay, when we had watched Loot, was it Loot we were watching? Yeah, because when we watched the finale of Loot the other night, we started and Alex goes, they were at like this wedding, and Alex goes, I don't remember what happened. I go, because you fell asleep before it was over. He goes, oh, that's right. And I said, he started like, I go, can we please not watch the last 15 minutes of a 30-minute show? He goes, just tell me what happened. So I told him. So, and then he like watched a little bit of it. So last night, he was falling asleep while we were watching Palm Royale. I said, babe, this is not the kind of show that you can fall asleep watching. He was like, okay. At that point, it was like, we did not know Traitors was out yet. We had watched the preview for Traitors. So he went upstairs, and he said, I'm going to go to bed. I'm really tired. I said, you're going to go to bed this early? I said, you have a meeting tomorrow. That's it. He's like, yeah, I'm really, really tired. Okay. He stayed up till 2 o'clock in the morning, doom scrolling on TikTok. But I have to tell you what's really funny about this, okay? So I went up there to take my nap. But before I did, I was texting Nikki, and Nikki said, oh my God, I'm getting ready. She was like, everybody was going to sleep at her house. And she was like, I'm getting ready to watch Traitors. And I go, is it out already? Well, then when like I got up from my nap, she was like on the second episode. She goes, there's 3 episodes. I go, there's 3 episodes of Traitors out already? So that's what we'll watch tonight. But Alex, so last night I said, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to look at our screen time on our phones. This was so embarrassing, you guys. He goes, I know, you're just trying to prove how much I'm on TikTok. I said, no, I just want to see, like, average. So we looked at our, like, screen time on our phones. Which, interestingly enough, we're not really on our phones a lot. So, his is TikTok. His #1 app that he's on. So, if you want to look it up, you go into your... If you want to go and see how much you can go into. Okay, so you go into settings if you have an iPhone. No, I'm not going to know how to find it. And you go to... I had to look it up last night because Fufu had screen time. It's a purple one. And you go down here, I'll tell your daily average, okay? And then if you go down, hold on. Right below where it says your daily average, it'll say see all app and website activity. This is so embarrassing, guys. Well, my number 2 one is YouTube, okay? My number 3 one is the internet, where I'm looking stuff up. Do you guys want to know what my number 1 is? And it's twice as much as I'm on YouTube. Now, I don't upload, like, I upload my videos to YouTube, but, like, I don't, like, watch tons of, like, if I'm watching YouTube videos, it's usually on the computer and stuff like that. Do you want to know what my number 1 app is that I use on my phone? I, like, started laughing so hard. Alex grabbed the phone. He goes, show me. I go, no, I'm so embarrassed. He goes, what is it? Do you guys want to guess? Lightning Strike. My slot game is my number 1. It's not called Lightning Strike. What's it called? It's called on here. Lightning Strike's at the casino. On here it's called Lightning Link. It's my number 1 app on my phone. Because when I'm watching like reality shows and stuff like that, like Below Deck, I'm trying to get finished Single Lives of Mormon Wives in the Valley. Yes, I'm going to finish. Welcome to Plathville and 1,000-Pound Roomies sometime. But while I'm sitting there watching reality shows, if I'm not taking notes like Sister Wives, I just play my slot game on the slide. Sometimes when I'm watching my BritBox shows, I do too. Like late at night, like Vera, I play the slots. Because you can watch it and just like hit... It's so embarrassing, you guys. That's my number 1 app. I love it so much, though. I do. I love it so much. So anyway, so then I took a nap last night. You know what? I haven't had to put this hoodie on yet. Look at this hoodie. Tanya and I both have the same hoodie, and we did not. I think we bought it separately, and I showed up years ago. I got it at the Mare. I showed up years ago. I have it in 2 different colors actually too. Of all the things that have made it through the years that I haven't like donated and got rid of, I don't know why this hoodie I've kept, but it's so comfortable. I got it at the Mare. Tanya has the exact same one in the exact same color, and we both bought it, and I showed up. There's another one, maybe it's a Champion one that we both bought together, but there's one that I think it's this one. This is literally like 10 years old. And like, I went to go pick her up for a meeting, and she came out and she had the exact same hoodie on. I said, girl, one of us is going to have to change, and I can't change. And it's this, look at this. It's cheesy. It's like these palm trees. It's so comfy, though. I just can't get rid of it. I literally have probably 30 hoodies up there, if not more, in my closet. Okay. I have a hard time getting rid of a hoodie. I don't care how big it is. I have a hard time getting rid of a hoodie. I love me some hoodies. But anyway, so... Then I got up last night. Oh my God, before I laid down to take my nap, I laid in bed. Somebody said, they commented on my video yesterday, my vlog, and they said they started Last Mom Standing and finished it in one day. Is it not so good? And they said that they had already like downloaded previously, or like because the second book comes out the end of January by the woman, and it's called like Last Lady Standing. It's like the president dies and like the pandemic or something that's going on, and then it's like the first lady and she's in Switzerland or something. I don't know. But anyway, it's a completely different storyline. I wish this one would continue. I don't know if this one ends conclusively or not. I'm like halfway through it already. But I'm also trying to finish Christmas Corpse. I've got to finish this Christmas book. So I'm reading 10% a night. So I'm at 70% right now. So tonight I have to read 70 to 80% because I'm going to finish it by Sunday. So I read like a couple chapters of that, and then I read a couple chapters of Last Mom Standing. Oh my God, I love that book. It is so good. It's an apocalyptic book, zombie kind. They say they're zombies, but they're not really zombies. I don't really know. It's like a cozy apocalyptic book. So I read that, and then I laid down and took my nap with Alex and the dogs. He was on TikTok. I got up, he was still on TikTok. I was like, I'm going downstairs to watch the show. He was like trying to show me his TikToks and stuff. It's the stupidest stuff that he watches. And he watches TV shows like The Nanny. It was Friends forever. And then Will and Grace. And then The Nanny. He keeps on going back and forth with The Nanny. I don't know why. And then he'll like, and he has his AirPods in. So like, he'll just sit, and this is like what he does. And then he'll like want to show me something. He's like, look at this. I'm like, what is it? And he's like, it's a dog that slowly smiles. I'm like, I don't have time for that right now. It makes him happy, you know what I mean? Oh, there's Walter. Walter always comes running. So anyway, Walter's little ears, his little cookie ears are like that. So anyway, what was I going to say? Oh, so then I got up, and what did I do right away last night? Oh, I was like, I wanted to watch a movie to review for my movie channel. Well, I've had some movies on my list. Like, I had the Wild and Wonderful Whites of West Virginia. Watched that, reviewed it yesterday. I've had that on my list of movies. If I think of a movie like, I've got to watch this movie to review it, I'm like, I put it on this list. Not every movie. Like, the new movies, I just go in and like, you know, whatever. So, like, the Oscar movies, I'm going to watch all of those. So, K-pop Demon Hunters has been on my list forever. Like, every one of our friends, their daughters dressed up like the girl with the purple braid. What's her name? Rumi. So I was like, okay, I'm going to watch this movie. I really, to be honest with you, It was totally for the review because I was in no mood. I don't like cartoons. I don't like musicals. I was in, and no, I'm not going to surprise you and tell you that I absolutely love this movie because I didn't. I was bored. But I was like, I'm going to watch this movie to review it. I also feel like it's a cultural phenomenon. I feel like I should watch this movie because like the camera stopped. I can't believe we're at 30 minutes already. So I was like, they're both standing there looking at me. Their dad's in the living room. Watching, oh, there they go. It's so funny because like, Walter's tail's real long and like sticks out kind of straight like when he gets excited and stuff, and Otis's tail is like curly cute. I need to do the DNA testing that I was sent. I need to do that. What if I find out that they're not even brothers at all, but they love each other? And the song is best friends and brothers, best friends and brothers, oh, this is it. Okay, this is a song that they love now. Ants in your pants, dance all the way to France. They get real excited. Alex picks him up and dances like he's waltzing with him. He loves that. So anyway, he did that with all the dogs. But anyway, Otis literally laid down right next to my plastic Birkenstocks inside, and he is like, I'm going to sleep right here in front of the bathroom door. He just laid, his head just went down on my, you guys want to see? And Walter's coming over and sniffing him. Hold on. He's like, let me just sleep, Walter. He just put his head on my Birkenstock sandal. This is so cute. Walter's looking at me. I want to show you guys, but as soon as I do, like Walter will come over here and help ruin the moment. Do y'all see? Look. If you can see, but like, oh, do you see little Otis? Look at him. This is what Otis does. He sleeps. He's sleeping on my red Birkenstock sandal. Look at that. Is that not the cutest thing? Oh my God, he's so cute. How could you not with him? He's so sweet. He will sleep anywhere. I was like real worried about it, and the vet was like, puppies sleep all the time. They're either running, they're eating, they're pooping, or they're sleeping. He's like, I said, but Walter doesn't. Like, Walter is like an adventurer of the world. And she's like, yeah, but most puppies do. And Tanya always says most dogs sleep a lot. I'm like, okay. But anyway, so as soon as I come inside, he'll be like, let's go outside and run around. So anyway, we're trying to get him used to the backyard, like running around. See, like, then Walter just looks bored. It makes me sad. Like, Walter just like came to the door, and he's like, where's your dad? Go see your dad, honey. He has walked away. So last night I watched that K-pop Demon Hunters. I mean, I understand why kids like it, don't get me wrong. I will tell you that my review is, I had fun doing the review. The review is not for kids. I understand why like kids love the movie, and I get the meaning behind it. Before people are like, it's about empowerment, it's about shame, it's about shedding all these things that I understand all that stuff. I get it. Okay, like it's not like brain science to understand a cartoon, anime, musical. Okay, I get it. Like, maybe I think if I was younger, I would have really loved it. I don't know. Even when I was, like, young, I didn't love, like, the musical stuff. So, I don't know. Like, maybe I would have. Like, it's funny because whenever I say that, people are like, you like Annie. I think I related to the story of Annie, therefore I like the music. Like, I really wanted to be, like, an orphan that was adopted by, like, a rich person. No, like, I did. Like, when I was a kid, like, when you were a kid, were there things that you were obsessed with? Like, I true story think that I, like, went down on the Titanic. I'm a big believer in past lives. I think I was, like, I went down the Titanic and I was eaten by a shark. Like, I really do. Because, like, I'm terrified of sharks, number one. Number two, I was obsessed with anything Titanic when I was a kid. You'd think I'd like that movie so much more, but I'm actually more fascinated. Like, I watch a lot on YouTube of like the survivors telling their stories, but most of them were like babies at the time and stuff like that. I was obsessed with anything Titanic when I was a kid. No, I really, truly was. And I was also obsessed when I was a kid with like kidnappings. I think it's partly because like we see a lot of documentaries about it and stuff today, but like it was like the girl in the milk cart. I mean, like all that was like, I think later after me maybe, but like, I've talked about this quite a bit on here, but I remember, and maybe it was because my babysitter was kidnapped. I don't know. I've talked about that too if you haven't heard the story. I had a babysitter of mine that was kidnapped from the McDonald's with her friend, and they were held for ransom for a week. But anyway, I just remember like always having like all these like warnings, and we would have like special like lectures on being kidnapped and what to do in that situation. I even had like code words with my dad and stuff like that. So I was kind of like obsessed with like kidnappings, and like there was all these like made for TV. A lot of the books that I read as a kid too were like about like orphans and like people whose like parents like they didn't know where they were, and like if they were adopted, did they have like, you know, like, or I don't know. Like I've always been kind of obsessed with that kind of stuff. So maybe that's, I think I liked Annie more because of that than anything else. And that dog Sandy. I love that Sandy. Sandy, why are you troubling me? Or whatever that song was called. I don't remember that song. But anyway, I remember Maybe. It's a hard knock life for us. I have actually, on YouTube, have you watched the casting of the original Annie? Well, there's a whole story behind it. Do you know the whole story? You should watch this documentary on YouTube. It was like a 2020 special. So there was actually a real girl that played Annie, like a real girl. There was a first girl that played Annie, and then they didn't like her, and it was like at some bed and breakfast. They rewrote the whole thing, and they got rid of her, and they hired that Andrea McArdle, who was like the original Annie, which I think I saw her somewhere. But I also saw her at Beef and, not her, but I saw it at Beef and Boards. But I think my parents took me to like Butler or IRT, and I saw it with that original girl in it or something like that. My mom and my aunt did. My aunt always took me to plays when I was a kid. So anyway, there's this whole thing about it, and then there's this whole, like, there's like 3 documentaries on it about like years later they like cast to like the new, who is going to be the new Annie on the traveling. Did you guys, they were going to bring Annie back to Broadway. And so they did this whole special. I became obsessed with this like 2 years ago, watching everything about it. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Oh my God, it's the weirdest thing ever. And then this girl, like these girls are like crying their eyes out, and it's like, it starts with like 100 of them, and then the girl that gets cast in it, like for some reason, they like this other girl more, and so then they take it away from her. And then it's like, but that's not the end of it, because it's like, it's been like 20 or 30 years, well, 40 years now. So now it's like, there's all these like, where are they now? And it's kind of real sad. Like, do you guys know what I'm talking about? Okay, here, I'm gonna see if I can find it. The casting of New Annie. It was like this special I watched. The Search for a Star. Is this it? Broadway's New Annie, The Search for a Star, February 17th, 1997. I can tell you because I can tell by the girls. Who is this little girl? It's like some pageant girl. I don't know who she is. Here, I gotta look. I gotta start it because I can tell by the girl that gets it. Here they're bringing Sandy in. Yeah, this is the girl that gets the part, and then she gets fired, and she's so excited about it. But I don't remember what happens, and at the very end, she's like bawling her eyes out and stuff like that because they take the part away from her. Do you guys remember this? Oh my God, I watched that whole thing. You guys should watch this if you have any interest in Annie. It was so good. And then here's a follow-up. So it's the recasting of Annie from 1997. It's so good, but it's so sad. Or maybe it's this, The Making of Annie 1980. No, that's the movie. I ended up watching all of these videos, though. I was, like, obsessed with this. And then I fell down this rabbit hole and was like, okay, do you know what my new favorite thing is to watch on YouTube right now? The Wheel of Impersonations. Ariana Grande's is the best. Christina Aguilera's was kind of sad, honestly. But I'm, like, really obsessed with that. What is this? Mean Tweets. Dolly Parton reads her mean tweets on Jimmy Kimmel Live. Oh, I might have to watch that. That's the kind of stuff I watch. Does that mean I'm old now? I don't have a vlogger to watch. Somebody recommend me a daily vlogger like me. I would love to watch something like this. Does anybody know any daily vloggers that are like me? Well, my friend Mare, Nightmare Bliss. I've linked her so many times. But anyway, it's her birthday! Happy birthday, Mare! Well, this is an early birthday. Happy birthday, Mare. She won't be watching this because her friend is visiting from out of town. So she's doing stuff with him this weekend. But anyway, happy birthday, Mare. But she's kind of like me, but she has like makeup hauls, candles, and stuff like that. Her videos are long, but is there anybody that just kind of like sits and talks about their life? Well, she does kind of, but like anybody else? Nightmare Bliss. Go follow her. I should link her channel below. If I remember. You guys, I'm so bad about remembering stuff like that, and then I feel bad. Nightmare Bliss. I'll link her channel below. Go follow her for her birthday. Anyway, Annie. No, it's not. Is it Sandy? Annie? Maybe far away, or maybe real nearby. I could have been on the show. I could have played Annie all day long. They weren't progressive enough back then. But anyway. So I watched that K-pop Demon Hunters. I was so glad when it was over. Oh my God. Then I watched, Alex kept on telling me I would really like the 3rd episode of Heated Rivalry. I have so many conflicted feelings about this show. Like, it's interesting. Like, it's kind of like the show. Like, if you're my generation or older of gay men, probably, like, we've waited for this show for a really long time. Like, positive representation. Like, and I'll say this in my reaction when I do it, but, like, it's like every show, like, even Longtime Companion, I loved that show. I didn't love that show because it was about AIDS. It was all about AIDS, Longtime Companion. It was a fantastic movie. I love that movie show. That's what my grandma used to call movies, shows. I loved that, my grandma that went to prison. She called the picture show, is what she would call it to my mom. My mom would be like, Mother, it's not the picture show, it's the movie. But anyway, she loved Junior Mints. And she loved those stars. You know, I'm talking about those stars, those chocolate stars that have like the little white dots on them. She loved those too. But anyway, you know, like, I loved Longtime Companion, but in all honesty, like, I remember seeing it for the very first time, and it reminded me of my group of friends. What I loved about Longtime Companion, today, what's important about that is that it was filmed right after, it was filmed, like, right as I was coming out, like, the tail end of the AIDS crisis, the heavy part of the AIDS crisis. And so, but what I related to about that movie was, like, Campbell Scott and that fuzzy guy dating and them being all like hanging out at parties together in their friend group. Like, I had not seen that before, other than The Boys in the Band, which that movie was so dated until the new one that came out just a couple years ago. But, like, I hadn't seen that in a movie. I hadn't seen, like, dating of gay guys or friend groups of gay guys. Like, you didn't see that in movies and TV shows. You didn't read about it in books. It was always, we were represented as tragic characters or funny people. Like, that's to laugh at or cry about. Like, we were either victims of AIDS or we were funny people in shows. That's really why this show is so important. I love that to be honest with you, I love that the sex is so graphic in it. It's hot. The sex is hot in it. But at the same time, like, it's done kind of like unashamed. Like, it's pretty accurate sex scenes in it. I mean, it really is. But Alex was like, because I said to him something about, like, does the relationship change? I finished the 4th episode, so I have the 5th and the 6th episode left. I don't want to ruin it for anybody that hasn't watched it. I don't love the direction that it's going in right now, but I did love the 3rd scene, which is a completely different couple. I don't know if do they come back, or is that just like a one and done? Like, I don't know why that, anyway. I'm assuming it comes back. I think, like, watching it, what's interesting to me is, like, the 3rd episode was a lot, it's all about them being in the closet, right? And, like, they have to because they play, like, you know, like, professional sports, and they can't, like, they're so scared to. And it takes place, like, you know, in the early 2010, or I think it starts in 2011, 2009, and it's now, like, 2015 or 16. And these are people that are afraid of losing sponsorships, of losing, like, playing in national leagues, afraid of playing in the Olympics. Like, I understand that. What's interesting to me watching it is, like, I never had, like, I was never, my fear of coming out wasn't of a fear of, like, losing that. So I don't understand that. But what is represented so well in it, that I think people in 2020, this is what is so brilliant about the show. I haven't read the books. To be honest with you, I don't think I probably will read the books. What is so brilliant about it is that the translation of these hockey players that are afraid of coming out because of how it'll affect them is very similar to what we were afraid of coming out, and still a lot of people are afraid of this today, in the 80s and 90s, because we were going to lose everything that we had, which at that time was our families, people making fun of us, our safety, and things like that. We don't really talk about that much today because people come out all over the place, right? Like, people come out, and I'm not saying this in any kind of, like, dismissive way. I'm just saying, like, we want to, I think, sometimes dismiss the progress that we've made in this country, or that the people that have paved the roads before, even myself, right? But, like, the fact that we come out today and people are like, I demand to be called this, I demand to be respected for my pronouns, I demand to be, you know, people better just accept my love. Like, I wish that was the world we lived in. I wish that was the world we lived in. But the fact that that's where we're at in 2025, and when I came out, and the people that came out 10 years before me that were friends of mine, were, like, scared to death to even come out to people they worked with, or friends and family. Like, even friends, I was afraid to come out to my girlfriends when I came out. So I think this show is so brilliant in that it shows what that fear is like on a different level that we can understand in 2025. Because we're really not talking about that today. But the reality is, there are still people that are afraid to come out in small towns and in big towns all across the country, and especially around the world where it's illegal to be gay, that you can be jailed or killed. And, you know, and we don't talk a lot about that. But there are still so many people that are afraid of coming out just to their families and friends. So I think it captures that in a way that I think is beautifully done. I don't know. I have a lot of different feelings about it. I kind of thought I wouldn't like it and be kind of cheesy, but I really do like the chemistry between a lot of the people. The guy that plays Shane, I don't know. I feel kind of bad for him. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. Like, I've only got 2 episodes left. So I'm kind of trying to just, like, watch it and just enjoy it as I watch it. I will say this. I think one of the reasons why this show is so important is that had I watched this show at 18, 19, 20, and I think the other thing that we don't talk a lot about as an LGBTQIA plus community or just in general is the amounts of older people within the LGBTQI plus community that come out as gay men or lesbians or bisexual or pansexual or trans. I mean, people that are older that come out as trans, like how difficult that whole transition and like journey is. I can't even imagine, you know, to be my age and be like, having lived with that my whole life and be like, I mean, that's not my journey, so I can't put myself in those shoes, but I can't even imagine the fear of all of that and what that would look like, you know, just to live your authentic self and then have people like coming at you and judging you and all that kind of stuff on top of it. You know, it's terrifying. And so I think, like, had this show existed for me, like, I've talked a lot about this with, like, books and stuff. Like, if Heartstopper, the graphic novels, had existed, they would have, like, in some way kind of saved my life. Like, I just was looking for lifelines in books and TV shows and movies. I was looking for any kind of, I see myself in that, you know? I think that's a lot. Like, I was thinking about this last night, like, what were the shows that I watched? Well, the shows that really helped me, like, identify, you know, when I was in high school and I would hear Sandra Bernhard talk about going out with Madonna to the boy bars, like, I knew what she was talking about. They were going to the gay bars. And I was like, I wish I had friends like Madonna and Sandra Bernhard. Like, I think that's why I so related to Sandra Bernhard. I was like, I wish I had a friend like her, you know? Like, I don't know, my girlfriends were a lot like Sandra Bernhard, you know what I mean? Like, they were kind of wild and in your face and whatever. And so I related to that. The battery just went to the halfway mark. It's not even that cold outside. But I was thinking about this last night because it was like Longtime Companion. That movie Jeffrey, it didn't come out till like a couple years later. Was I sober when Jeffrey came out or was I still drinking? I don't remember. But it was a lot about AIDS too. You know, Doing Time on Maple Drive. I don't even know if I've seen that movie all the way through. There was just a lot of AIDS movies back then. The Glimmer of Hope or whatever that movie was with the guy from Dead Poets Society. We had to, like, find ourselves in between stuff. You know, Ellen DeGeneres had just come out on the show, but that was, like, years later, too. I mean, I think the first time that I really felt like, and this is so bizarre, I watched something that I felt like I see myself, is the Blonde Ambition Tour, Truth or Dare, the documentary, Madonna's documentary. And we all loved that documentary when it came out, me and all my friends. I think it wasn't, I mean, we loved Madonna, we loved the dancers, we loved all that. But I think in some way, the connectivity of all these gay guys that were dancers together on tour with Madonna, like, we saw ourselves in that. Not like we were dancers or anything, but to some degree, it was kind of like all of us hanging out with drag queens. And the drag queens were like Madonna, and we were all hanging out with them. Like, it was kind of like that, you know? And I don't know. I think that was one of the very first movies that I ever saw where, and they do talk about, like, AIDS and stuff like that in the movie, and, you know, she's very maternal to them, but I think it was, like, one of the first times I ever felt like I really saw myself, like, in a movie. And no, I'm not a dancer on any level, but, like, just that openness of being gay where you're not afraid to do that. I don't know. I think this show is fantastic. I think, like, at first I went into it and I was like, this is a sexy time show. But then when I stopped away from it, I was like, I love that so many people are watching this show right now. I do, you know? I don't know. It's like, I don't know what people think. Like, just to have a real talk, like, I don't know what people are so afraid of with gay people. I really don't get it. Or what they're so afraid of by, like, or what they think is so different by gay sex. I mean, in all honesty, like, I'm not being crass when I say this, but gay sex is not a whole lot different than straight sex, is different than lesbian sex. I mean, it just isn't. It's just different body parts. Like, let's just be fucking real about it, right? Like, what are we afraid of? Like, what makes, I don't know, like, and I'm not getting biblical about this. I'm talking about like the only time you're supposed to do is for procreation. Because I can tell you right now, if I was straight, I wouldn't just be having sex for procreation. I just wouldn't. So I don't know if that would make me a better Christian because I'm straight and I'm having sex not for procreation. I don't know, like, how you get around those. I've never been that person. I don't get into those conversations with people. When people have wanted to come to, I made this decision very, very, it's interesting because I got asked this on a Q&A recently that I did. Somebody said, what's a rule you live by but you don't really talk about? I mean, it's not that I wouldn't talk about it, but it's just kind of a rule I don't get in, that I live by. I don't get into the religious conversation with people about it. I don't, like, if people want to come to me and be like, it's Adam and Eve and not Adam and Steve, I don't really hear that as much as I used to. Like, when I first came out in the Westboro Baptist Church years later was a big deal. And we go to, like, Pride Day festivals. I think this is the other thing when people want to talk about Pride Day festivals today. I remember going to Pride Day festivals when I first came out, and an entire side of the street would all be church people with holding up signs that say, like, you know, like, you're going to hell, and F's must die, and, you know, AIDS is your punishment. I mean, it was literally like an entire wall of a Pride Day festival. It's why police officers were there and stuff like that. It wasn't, we weren't part, I mean, it was like, we were scared. I mean, that's how Pride Day started, like with Stonewall and stuff. Like, I think people sometimes forget, like, that's where it's important to know the history, right? And, so I don't know, like, I don't know. I was going to say something. Not completely forgot my mind. So anyway. But I think it's good. It's going to be interesting to see what I think when it's all said and done. When it's all over. Yeah. No, that is a rule I live by. That's what I was going to say. Is that I just don't get into those conversations with people. That people... I had a friend of mine years ago. It was a surprising source that said it to me. I think it was before I was on YouTube. A very close friend of mine that just randomly said something to me that so caught me off guard. And I was like, here's pool crew lady number 2. Oh, she's going to get her laundry. Are you going to get your laundry? Yep. You better not get mugged on the way down there. I hope not. I'll watch out for you. Oh, so pool crew lady number 2. I know, I'm in trouble. What? If you hear me yell, I'm going to come running if I hear you yell. So, pool crew lady number 2, her brother and his wife moved, or her sister-in-law, they live over there. They moved in last year, okay? So, she bought a new dryer, and it broke. They bought it in October. So, she's like, we're getting a new dryer, but she's like, I got all these loads that are wet. And so, she's taking it, she's walking, I love this so much about my neighborhood. She was walking the load of the laundry down to her brother's house and carrying it back and forth. Can I just show you how it's pitch dark outside. You guys see? And she's walking down the street to go get her laundry. She's been doing this all day with these wet loads of laundry. So she's been doing like a load of wash and then taking it to her brother's house. And like, but carrying this laundry basket down the street. I've been giving her such a hard time about it today. So anyway, so me and my neighbor across the street were talking about the new neighbors moving in. When she walked by with her laundry basket, and my neighbor across the street, the gardener, she goes, what are you doing? And she goes, she explained it to her. She's like, I know, it looks stupid. And I said, that's what you get when you buy your dryer off of Facebook Marketplace. I said this to pool crew. She didn't get her dryer off of Facebook Marketplace. Well, pool crew lady number 2 just started laughing at me, right? And she's shaking her head and she walked inside. Well, the gardener, she goes, did she really get her dryer off of? I said, I don't know. I know she got it. She told me where she got it earlier. It was like, I don't know, Sears. It wasn't Sears. Is Sears even around anymore? It was someplace like that, but I don't know where she got it. Best Buy or something. But she goes, did she get her? She goes, she could have got a warranty with that. I said, no, she has a warranty on it. They're getting it fixed, but she's like got all this wet laundry. But then she kept on doing laundry in the washer and then so all day long she's been. I don't know why she didn't drive down there. I mean, it's literally like a 2-second walk, but it kind of cracks me up. I live for it. I love our neighborhood so much. Everybody is so sweet and so friendly in our neighborhood. So anyway, yeah, that's kind of a rule that I live by that I don't really talk like that about. I don't get into it. I won't get in the discussion with people about it. Like if that's what you want to believe, have your feelings, if you think that I am disgusting and I'm going to hell and that I'm a sinner because I'm gay, like in my youth, I would get into conversations with people like that. And when I realized it was just this back and forth and back and forth, there was no winning to it. And I just found myself getting very angry and very resentful. I don't do that anymore. Years ago, like I said, somebody very close to me, and they made kind of an out-of-pocket statement. It wasn't, when I say this, it wasn't like a rude statement. They didn't call me any kind of like derogatory word. It was nothing like that. It was like, I'm trying to give an example. It had nothing to do with this, but it would be like, and listen, I'm sure there's some of you out there that don't agree with marriage equality that watch my channel and blah, 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 whatever. Listen, I'm not going to fight on that. Okay. Like there was a point in my life where I realized that living my truth and sharing my truth was going to change more people's minds than fighting people. In fact, when I started my vlog, I think it was like 2 years into my vlog, I got an email from this woman. And she talked about how she had grown up in this evangelical household, and she had been evangelical for years and years and years. And she really thought that, like, you know, like gay marriage was wrong and all this kind of stuff was wrong. And then she started watching me, and she started watching my vlog. And it just kind of progressively happened over time. And she really liked me. And she realized that Alex and I are no different. We go out to brunch and we raise our dogs and we live and travel, whatever. And that slowly her mind changed. And she like wrote this letter to her church. And she like, and referenced me in the letter and like sent me a copy of the letter and stuff and said she could no longer be part of this church because, and that had nothing to do with because I was shoving it down somebody's throat. It literally just had to do with that I was living my life authentically and being like, this is who I am. And I'm not going to make excuses for it. I've realized in life that me screaming and yelling at people is not, like, it doesn't work. And I've done it. I've done it online. I've done it in my personal life. It doesn't work. I don't know. And I don't always feel better for that. I don't feel better at all. You know what I mean? So no, I don't engage in those conversations. But I also will not have those people in my life. I'm trying to give an example. The example I was going to use is like, I was having a conversation. The thing about it that was so weird was it was just in such a random place. Like, it wasn't like we were at a dinner. It wasn't like we were having a conversation about gay stuff. It was just like out of the blue. And we were like, kind of like, oh, like this and that, whatever. And then the person said something like, I don't want to say what it was, but they were like, yeah, well, like, I don't believe in marriage equality. This is somebody, and that was not what they said. It had nothing to do with marriage equality. It was basically like the existence of gay people. Like, I don't know, it was pretty sick. And I was like, I mean, this is somebody that had been around my family. We've been in their home. They've been around my husband. I mean, they knew us very, very well. And I was like, I haven't talked to this person in over 10 years. And I was like, I remember I stopped, and I don't usually, and I said, I'm sorry, what? And they like kind of corrected themselves more clearly, but basically said the same statement. And I said, is that really how you feel? And we were like at the end of like doing what we were doing. And they're like, yeah, like I know we don't really talk about that much. And, you know, I'm just like, you know, I'm like cool with like how, and I was like, that's really only happened to me like 2 or 3 times in my entire life with people close to me. I was kind of done with it. And they never really reached out to me, and I didn't really reach out to them either. I mean, that's where I talk about boundary setting. I like in that moment, I saw that person for exactly who they were. And I was like, I don't need that in my life, you know? I don't need to like beg to sit at I love that saying that you see online, like we don't chase people down, we don't like beg to sit at tables. I don't anymore. If I have one person in my life, like that's one person more than some people have. I don't need to beg to have people in my life, especially people, and I don't need to, like, it is not my job to educate people that have been around me enough that are going to continue to say things that are hurtful or put me in hurtful situations. Like I saw this thing online last night, and it was like 10 things that allies of the LGBTQI plus community should like never do or should do. It was a thing on Facebook. I actually was going to screenshot it and then like do a video on it. And I thought, I don't know about all that. But one of the things it said is that like we need your help always, not just like when times get tough, like people run away. Like that's when we need your help the most, is like when it's like, it's the quote that I love from The Contender, which is principles only mean something if you stick to them when they're inconvenient. Like, I love that. Like, how hardcore is your belief system? Like, I am somebody that, like, I will stand up in a party. I will stand up, like, I'm not going to get into a fight about it. But if somebody says something out of pocket or is so disrespectful or so rude, like, I will say, like, I'm not cool with that. Like, and that's kind of how I'll say it. I know that's kind of unexpected that people probably think I go, what the F did you? I don't do that. Like, I'm just kind of like, I'm like, that's not cool that you said that. Like, what did you mean by that? And they either correct themselves or they hold to it. If they hold to it, I'm out. That's who I am today. I don't need to engage in it. I don't need to be part of it. But I also don't need to sit there and act like I didn't hear it happen or see it happen. I'm not going to be that today. You know, I'm not going to participate and engage in things like that. I have a lot of conversations with people that I'm like, not okay. And like, please explain to me. Like, and that's the other thing. Like, I feel like we can't have those conversations today. Like, I have people in my life that we differ greatly in our belief systems and things. Like, well, I wouldn't say things that are vital and important to me, but some things we differ on. And we've had a lot of conversations. I'll be like, explain to me what you feel like that. You know, they'll explain it to me and whatever. And I wouldn't say my core beliefs about things. Most of the people that I'm really close to, I think that's important for me as I get older. I don't want to be surrounded by people that the things that are most important to me or that I value the most, that I differ greatly from the people that are important to me, because those are the people that I want to be protecting me, you know. I mean, if I'm in a hospital and somebody's looking over at me, like watching over me and making decisions for me, I want that to be the camera stopped. I want that to be somebody that philosophically believes the same things that I believe in, you know. I don't know. Anyway, whew, that was deep, wasn't it? So last night I watched K-pop Demon Hunters. I'm glad that I saw it so I can be part of the conversation when people bring it up. I understand why kids love it. Like, I would have probably loved it as a kid, too. I didn't love the music and stuff like that, but the empowerment of the girls, like, I would have loved that. When she's, like, on stage at the end singing Golden, I love that scene. But anyway, and I love the meaning behind it. I just don't know that I would have got it at 5 to 8 years old, the deep meaning behind it. I don't know that I would have understood that. And then I watched I finished the 3rd and 4th episodes of Heated Rivalry. And the 4th episode just kind of made me sad. And then, well, it all kind of makes me sad a little bit. And so I've got the 5th and 6th one. I'll probably finish it tonight. And then I watched season 3, episode 1 of Vera. I'm like obsessed with Vera. I have to tell you, I'm so excited. Because, okay, so The Pit came out, but it's 1 episode. I'm waiting until the whole season's out of The Pit. I can't, like, the show's meant to be binged. It takes place in 1 day. So I'll watch The Pit when it all comes out. Traitors will watch, because like reality shows we'll watch week to week. So we've got Beverly Hills, we've got The Traitors. Shetland, I think there's 2 episodes out now. I'm going to wait till all 6 episodes of Shetland are out. But I am so excited. There's like 11 to 14 seasons of Vera. I love it. I love Vera so much. It's so good. It is so good. And I added some other shows. Hold on a second. When I see stuff pop up, I screenshot it to keep it. So let me see. Okay, Will Trent. Has anybody watched Will Trent? People were talking about it last night. I was like, maybe I should watch Will Trent. Okay. These beanies. I bought these beanies. Okay, so there's these beanies that are called Fresh Off the Needles. They're like smaller beanies. I guess those hats are called beanies, not ski hats. But these beanies are so cute. Do you see? So there's all different brands. Now that I've looked at one of them, they're all showing up. The first ones that I found were called Society of something. What were they called? Here they are. Raised by Society. So they're like these beanies that are, say, worn by fishermen. They're $33. Okay, the other ones that are hand knitted are $113, $115 or something. I don't know, $113. I don't need no $115 beanie. So I found similar ones to these on Amazon, a 4-pack for $14.99. We're gonna start there. If I like them, then I might order these. But I'm thinking, like, if I could get a beanie, because these are supposed to like fit your head if you have like a different kind of head. They're supposed to make you look better. They're supposed to not be like as long. So I'm like, I think I could get down with all that. Okay, Suddenly Amish. I'm going to start watching this, and it starts on TLC on the 13th. I'm going to start watching this and covering this on my TV show. Okay, Goodnight Sugar Babe. Loved it. One of my favorite true crime. I screenshot all these things. Okay, where is it at? Here's the 1 second later. See the book. Look, I read it. I have it 5 stars. You can't see it really, but I have it 5 stars from years ago. Anyway, so tonight, walk. TV shows, nap, TV shows, movie, snacks. Oh my God, I had Alex try last night. So I got these new crackers, which I didn't love the crackers when I reviewed them. They're rosemary and something, but they are so good with the caramelized onion dip from Trader Joe's. But last night, there's this everything but the bagel dip that's yogurt brand. It's flashing at me. I gotta go. And I don't love it, but I had it with the crackers, the everything but the bagel crackers last night, and they were so good. And I thought Alex is gonna hate it. He will never try stuff that I'm like, just try this. He tried it. He was like, oh my God, that is so good. I'm having some of that as soon as I get back from my walk tonight. I can't wait. Anyway, okay, I'm gonna get off here now, render this. Oh, I've gotta get my other videos up too. I gotta post them. So anyway, I hope you guys are having a fantastic Friday and an amazing beginning to your weekend. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you guys. I love you. Happy birthday, Lena. Happy birthday, Mare. Happy birthday to everybody else. If you're having a bad day today, this too shall pass. It's going to get better soon. I promise. And I'm sending lots of positive vibes to you guys. I love you so much, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love you.